What's up, everybody? Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. We are somewhat trying something new tonight. Um, make sure my gain isn't too high here on the mic. So, we're going to try to see if we can push out tonight's live stream to my YouTube viewers and over on Facebook on the official World's Worst Fishing Facebook page. A lot of people follow me over there that may not be subscribed on YouTube. Um, So, yeah, let's see. All right, we'll wait for a few more viewers to get in here. I'm trying to refresh Facebook on my phone to see if I'm even live. Carts Baits, hello, how are you? Jeremy Curtis Fishing, what's going on? How are you this evening? So, I'm really curious how it works when I'm live on two different platforms. I should be live on Facebook. So, if any of you guys are watching from Facebook, if you're seeing this broadcast through my Facebook, please let me know in the comments. Okay, I do see it now. Perfect. Okay, okie doke. All right. Well, we already have another bait maker in the house. Into T2TW squared. How are you? I say it wrong every time, so I might as well. Kyle from Fishing All Out is in here. Everyone give Kyle a big hello. He is responsible for the hot plate. Could not live without it. Kyle, man, I get a lot of questions about how you are, how you're doing. I think a lot of people are curious to know how your recovery has gone. And so tonight's prompt is going to be okay. Tonight's prompt is going to be about vacuum chamber lids. There seems to be a vacuum chamber lid apocalypse. I'm starting to see posts almost daily, if not a DM or a combination of the two, about vacuum pots. They're blowing up. They've gone nuclear. There's something wrong with vacuum chamber lids. Hey, thanks so much. I learned all I know from your channel and appreciate the knowledge. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, this is an ongoing problem. I got a YouTube comment yesterday, literally just on my actual vacuum pot. I did well. So I've done two dedicated videos to how to use a vacuum chamber. One was really, really old. And then when I had to replace my vacuum chamber with a brand new one, I used that opportunity to just film a much better guide version, right? We did an unboxing, we assembled, and showed you all the tips and tricks on how to use it. It was a really, really great video. But a lot of people are just having the worst time with vacuum chamber lids. And I've heard of there again. Let's go back in time here. I've probably been using my vacuum pot in the soft bait realm. I've been using vacuum chambers for over a decade, for probably over 10 years now. I think as early as 2014. I started bait making in 2012. I did not start. I did not start doing, vacuuming my plastic. Probably until a few years in. So during that time, I've seen it all. I've never had a lid break. But I've seen a lot of other scenarios in which some people's pots caved in, right? Like that Titan submersible that went to the Titanic and imploded. There's a documentary coming out on that next month. I'm really curious to see what the heck was going on. Just so sketchy, so unnecessary, so tragic. But I had never really seen a lid crack in use. People had dropped the lids and they had cracked. So I was like, I haven't had to buy a vacuum chamber in so long now. Why is everybody's lids cracking? And I don't mean they're cracking after they've had them for 5 years. I mean sometimes the first and second run, brand new, not a scratch on it. The lids weren't only cracking. They were shattering, just rendering the whole thing useless. So let's see. Hey Harold, how are you, man? Yeah, we're trying to kind of dual go live on Facebook and YouTube tonight, and just see if we can tap into both audiences. I'm not sure if my Facebook viewers, if they leave a comment on that live, I'm supposed to see it here in my streaming studio. So it's supposed to combine both comment threads. Yeah. Okay, all right. Here's an update from Kyle at Fishing All Out. Kyle, I may or may not have given Christina Stewart your phone number the other day. She was going to contact you about a vice, so I'm sorry, but hey, what are friends for? I was like, I'll give you his number. You can check in with him directly. So yeah, if you hear from her, that's my fault. Fishing All Out says, I'm doing good, trying to get my chest bone to heal up. Yes, the sternum does get sliced in half. I've been there 3 times. Yep. So how long ago was your surgery, Kyle? I don't remember exactly when it was. I want to say my sternum felt pretty good after 2 or 3 months. But like twisting, ooh, you're gonna feel it for probably over a year. I could still twist or bend or move, in which I just kind of felt this deep soreness in the chest cavity. Not pain, but I could just tell something had happened, something major. So, yeah. Yes. So, yes, Harold, I remember you saying that you were in the hospital yourself. I hope you're doing better. Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. So, let's hop on. Let's come over here, right? So I've pulled up a few tabs about vacuum chambers. This is probably the one that most people get. This one right here. This is the one that I still have. Um, so yeah, the BAC, as I call it, backcoing. If anyone knows how to pronounce that, let me know. Um, but this should look really familiar, right? These are great vacuum chambers. I'm still using the original pot and lid from probably 5 years ago. It's been a long time. I've had to replace the pump and the hose. So generally speaking, I would think your pump and your hose are going to fail long before the actual pot and lid. However, um, I'll show you something interesting here. Oh, wrong tab. Wrong tab. Let me share this one. Okay. So if you go to the Amazon listing, okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And this is going to help people. Like, I swear, this might be really obvious to a couple of other people who have bought vacuum chambers a lot recently than me. But I have not had to buy one in a long time. And 5 years ago, I just wasn't seeing this widespread failure of lids. I mean, lids are breaking all over the place. Let's go to the Amazon listing. Okay. This is your kind of cheaper 3-gallon option. So this right here is a really attractive thing. A lot of people are going to go for this one. Okay. But let's look. Okay. So 3-gallon, $139. Blah. This is with the acrylic lid. And let's look down here. Not for soft bait making. They have literally caught on that we are using these for soft bait making and are distinguishing the fact that the acrylic lids, there is a chemical reaction which is weakening the plexiglass or the acrylic. So if we look here, acrylic lid chambers are not compatible with certain, it looks like polymers and chemicals here: alcohol, ethanol, acetone, acrylic base, monomers or polymers. Solvents react chemically with the acrylic and cause the lid to crack. I had never heard of this in my life. Okay. Maybe I've had an acrylic lid and somehow got away with it before. I don't know. I don't remember ever having to select tempered glass or acrylic. I just bought the dang thing. But there are different versions now. Um, so yeah, this is great information here. Um, I think it really is that simple. So if we come back over here to their website, okay, let's come back over to the official manufacturer website. You can see this one's a little more expensive. Glass lid. Let's look right here. Glass lid. Tempered glass lid. This is the difference right there. And honestly, I think it is that easy, or excuse me, that simple. So, for anyone out there who has one of these vacuum chambers, even if it's not this manufacturer, let me try to catch up on some comments here, guys. 50 people watching. Let's get thumbs up. That way, the algorithm will give us a little bit of a boost. Yeah. Harold, which ones are cracking the most? The acrylic. The real glass lids are not cracking under normal use. Yeah, they're just not. So if you have one of these, okay, and your lid has cracked, what I would do is I would come to the manufacturer page. I haven't looked on this page too much, but I would imagine, yeah, perfect. I would imagine you can probably get a replacement lid. Um, and so that's what I would do. I would get on here and look around their pump and accessories page here, vacuum pump chamber. Um, I'm sure it's here somewhere, but that's what I would try and do. Is instead of thinking that it's no good or that you got to replace the whole thing, just look for a replacement lid, but get the tempered glass. Christina Stewart is in here. Guys, let's give Christina a thumbs up. I'm trying to get her to be a guest. I was hitting her up pretty hard last week. Let's hop on. Let's do our podcast. Let's get it going. And she ghosted me. I'm just kidding. No, she's um, got some things going on this week. So let's see. Here's an interesting comment. Wow. I had surgery with my chest cut, and that's how I started watching you. Hey, it's amazing what a small world it is. So yeah, I would just say, yeah, I actually looked this up, right? So y'all can just kind of read here. Really interesting. Definitely try to get the glass lid. So if you're going to buy new, or if you're going to replace, um, you know, uh, a lid, definitely get the tempered glass. You literally says here on the listing, do not go acrylic for soft bait making. And I just thought that was super funny that soft bait making is big enough, right, for these vacuum pump chamber sellers, that they're taking note of what we're doing and actually giving us some very valuable information right here on the listing. So that's really cool. Yeah. So it always helps to read the description when you're buying a product, and I think that's a really good example of that. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying that you exchanged yours or sent it back and got a larger pump, or a different volume. Check to see what lid it has. I guarantee you, if it's working great, it's got to be the tempered glass. Apparently, a lot of people are having problems with the acrylic. Um, so apparently, that's for degassing very, very, very harmless substances. But it's just interesting that it can happen so fast. Um, there again, I'll go back to my original statement. These are not people that have had a vacuum chamber for 6 months or a year or 2 years, and now the acrylics are starting to fail. No, whatever this chemical reaction is that's weakening the acrylic, um, from degassing plastic, and I'm assuming it's when you're degassing the plastic hot, which to me is the best way to do it. it's actively giving off those fumes. Somehow that reaction is happening fast. Like the first time someone's using it, boom, shatters, which is really dangerous. So, yeah, hopefully this little segment of the podcast will sort of serve as just a little public service announcement. Hey, for all the people new to this or replacing a vac pot, um, do not get acrylic. And if you've had acrylic and it broke, just source a replacement lid that is tempered glass. Yeah. So to me, that is the big secret: is that it's just a acrylic first glass thing. And I thought it was so funny that they're even telling us right there in the listing. Um, so yeah, always read the directions. Same when you get a bucket of dead on plastic. I literally had to make a video last weekend about how to temp plastisol and prep it because people don't read instructions. So very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Mike. Hey, Chris from South Carolina. How's it going? It is hot as hell out here. I've got the fan blowing on me, but it's not helping it here in the garage. It's miserable to be out here. Hope all is well from the UK. Hey, hello from Florida. I hope the weather over your way is a little better than here. So we now have 56 people in the chat. So for anyone new, yes, we are talking about the vacuum chamber lid um, apocalypse. They've all gone nuclear. They're blowing up, shattering, boom, and it is a acrylic versus glass debate. Always get the tempered glass lid. And that is new information to me. I've never had to think about it. Vacuum chamber lids were just vacuum chamber lids, and you got what came with it, and it worked. So I guess they've gone acrylic to offer cheaper options, um, and people just kind of weren't aware that there's a chemical reaction going on, actively weakening your lid when you use acrylic. It's really strange. Really, really, really strange. Christina was just in the chat. Christina, this is Kyle fishing all out. He said, give her a call. Or, excuse me, give him a call. Yeah, thanks, Ken. Thanks. Yeah, we try to still be informative after all these years. We think that we've taught it all, learned it all, but hey, still learning something new. Still learning something new. I'll try to get caught up on some chats. Whew. Really crazy. So let's hop on over to Facebook and see what's going on. So some of you may have seen this. I'm calling it regurgitated shad because if we look at our reference picture here right under my cursor, that's kind of what a bait fish can look like. If you've ever really gotten on the bass in a good schooling bite, right, when they're actively feeding on shad, a lot of times you'll catch one that still has a shad in its throat. Or if it previously had been feeding on a shad, sometimes when you catch them, they'll actually throw up a bait fish that they've already swallowed. And this is what they look like. They're all splotchy and half the skin has already been digested off. This one's missing half its skin, right? That's not necessarily busted scales. That's like all the skin that's left. You're seeing the skeleton, right? So I had a really fun time trying to mimic this see-through, skinless, half-digested, coughed up, thrown up, vomited, regurgitated shad, and we were able to really kill it. So what you're looking at is sort of a hodgepodge, I guess we could call it, of let's see, of foils, white mica powder, a little bit of black powder here in the head, and no YouTube, not black powder isn't gunpowder, black mica powder, really splotching things in. And then this was really fun. The bottom color is Dead on Plastics Grit. Beautiful color. Okay. Grit mixed with a little bit of brown. And then the top color was Smashberry, which is like a brown to purple morph color. Just something you would not necessarily think was something you would put in a shad. I thought it was really, really, really cool. Okay, so we have questions about the vac pots. Guys, 63 people in here. Let's get some more thumbs up. And for my YouTube viewers, if you're finding this content valuable and you want to support the channel, drop us a super chat. Super chats are the lifeblood of the live content creator. Mike Fletcher asks, what's up, Chris? What's up? How can you tell which one you have? I got mine a couple years ago off Amazon and have only had hose problems. Well, then likely you have the glass. It sounds like these acrylic lids are breaking fast, like fast, fast, fast. The first time you pop a cup of hot plastic in there, you're already having problems, if not complete shatter. I think you're probably fine. If it's years old, so for example, mine is currently years old. I couldn't find the receipt on that order to figure out which one I got if I had to. So I'm just assuming it's the one that works because I've probably used it 3,000 times. So I think you're probably safe. Great question here from Brett Young. Grit versus snow shine. Well, two very different things. Very different things. Snow shine is a really shimmery kind of what I would consider to be a pretty big micron size powdered effect. It kind of looks like a diamond pearl or a borosilicate pre-mixed in oil. Grit is sort of an off-white cream that is an opaque in color that does not have a powder effect. Very different things. I would have never matched the natural look, right? So what I was focusing on is the color, right, of the fish right here. Okay, so if we see that belly color, it kind of comes all the way out into here, right? You can see I matched it there with the grit, maybe with a little bit of brown mixed in. And then the Smashberry top also had some brown and a little bit of red. It took some finagling, but yeah. Yep. Okay, Mr. Duncan says, I think he has a way for you to narrow down which version you might have. Yep. Let's see. Let's get caught up on, yeah. Yes. Grit essentially is bone. I would consider it bone if it was maybe a little bit more yellow, but you can always add a little bit of yellow. No problem. Mm-hmm. Yes, this is, yeah, okay, this is a good way to say it. It's a very flesh tone. Yeah, it's a very flesh tone. A lot of people would call it bone. To me, bone is usually kind of yellow, a little more yellow than grit. Grit by itself, in my opinion, is not super yellow. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you. I have had no less than 100 people ask to buy those, and there's only like one set of them. So I was like, yikes. It's something I can't pour that every day. Not every day. Let me go ahead and restart the camera. I know we still have not gotten a new one. Jeez, people. See, it looks like Travis has a good question here. And if Kyle is still in here, who wants to see a podcast with Kyle from Fishing All Out? We can talk about his hot plates, some of the R&D that went into that, his vices, right? A little bit about his philosophy, how he builds this stuff. Let me know if you would like to see that. Travis asks, I have a bottle of space grass. Space grass. Okay, I'm combining marsh grass and metal mist in my head. Okay, space grass. Yeah, I probably, well, I know I have it. and I have used it. I must have just not found a great way for me to use it yet. It's just kind of one of the things. I can never use every single color to its full potential. There's just not enough hours in the day. I kind of have to pick the ones that my eye gravitates to, and just try to develop things from there. So I have color shift powders. 6 years old, I've never used. Never even opened the bag. I just can't. Yeah, I could just come out here one day and I'm going to use everything I've never used just to see what things look like. Sure, but to really work something in, to really get familiar enough with a new powder or a new color so that your mind now incorporates that into a recipe whenever you see something that you want to make, that really has to develop slowly. Yeah. So, um, yeah, it's just hard to use every color really to its full potential. My mind sees color one way, someone else, when I go grab melons, right? This gentleman's talking about DOP melons. If I go grab a bottle of melons because I need that green pumpkin, someone else is grabbing green pumpkin 109, or they're grabbing goose turd, or they're grabbing bait plastics green pumpkin equivalent, or MFs, or what's the new kid on the block? Barlow's is now doing pigment. So there's just a lot. Well, Barlow's isn't new, but I think some of their colors are. The point being, um, you can never use every color, not to its full potential. Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. We try. We put a lot of effort into this kind of stuff. I find it to be so rewarding when you kind of get one close. I find it to be really, really, really fun. Yeah. This is my favorite picture of mine right there. Dead meat eyes just killed it. God. I just happen to have the right eye. Golly, it's hot. Yep. So yeah, again, I really just wanted to get on here, talk about the vacuum pot issue that's going on. If anyone has any questions, or wants me to look at something, if you posted some baits on Facebook, or if there's a YouTube video you guys want me to check out in real time, let me know. Anything is on the table. If not, we can cut this one pretty early. We're right at the half-hour mark. Let's see. Yes, Roger. Yeah, so we've actually done a few videos where it's all about one color. We've done it with dead on marsh grass. We've done it with dead on amber. We've done it with dead on dawn. I did it. Oh, I did it years ago. I forget what pigment it was, but yeah, essentially you just kind of walk through the various stages of saturation, and how you can kind of tweak a color with, adding a backer color to it, like black, or adding a powder effect. Yeah, absolutely, we do that all the time. Yes, yep, those were dead meat eyes. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's not your China eye, which a few episodes ago we looked at lure eyes because Lifefly shop closed down, and that's where I got the bulk of my sort of production eyes. The sort of I guess the alternative manufacturer, or a site that I found on that live stream. I have since then ordered eyes from them. I have not gotten them yet. So I don't have like a full review yet, but hopefully they're the same quality. I think they are. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, Johnny, Kyle at Fishing All Out has some good news for you. That's good. I hope it involves what I think it involves. Hooked and Reel Fishing, you're the reason why my bank account is hurting. My bad. My bad. I get that a lot. Yeah, so Joel asked, how do I get my plastisol out of the 5-gallon bucket? Yeah, man, just old school. I keep it real simple. I stir it up. I have a dedicated big Pyrex cup. I scoop it out, and I then pour it. Eh. So this is my dedicated scooper cup. Let's say I'm pouring a set of swim baits or whatever, and you know what? I know that my top color on a set of shads, I need exactly a 1 cup. Scoop, fill her up. That's it. I basically just ladle it out with another Pyrex cup. That allows me to measure very precise amounts. Um, and I'm really only making a mess with 1 cup. So, yeah, that's just the way it is. Great question here. Being a starter lure maker, should I even worry about a pot? Well, I think so. If it's something that you're comfortable budgeting for, you're not going to regret it. Um, do you need it to make a good bait? No, not really. A lot of us really only worry about backing plastic if we're like really trying to make our best stuff, especially see-through, pearly, iridescent colors, really natural colors. So, for example, this right here would have looked pretty crummy if it was full of air bubbles. So, yeah. Let's scroll on down. Brains Bates says, thank you for all your insight and knowledge and for answering random questions when I need them. Love the podcast, Bait God. Okay. Yeah. No problem, man. No problem. I'm answering questions pretty much day and night. My DMs are still pretty blown up. Have I seen the Nano Shift powders from 4-7? Yes, I have. I think he's offering some 10 to 20 micron, or you know what? I forget what he was saying. Just the smaller micron borosilicate powders. Yep, I have seen those. He offered to send me some, and I have so many color shift powders, even some from 5-6 years ago I've never opened. I just kind of politely turned them down. I said, look, I just probably don't. I just don't need any more powders. Like you're better off sending them to someone who doesn't have years of stash. Send them to a new bait maker that you think is, a potential ambassador, or sell them. Don't waste them on me. I've got more color shift powders than I literally know what to do with. In fact, if I ever get back to doing giveaway videos, I'll probably give away some freaking powders. I really need to. Yeah. Yep. The vacuum pot is great, especially if you're selling. If you're not selling, you don't have to have it. It's not going to make or break your whole thing there. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. You're not going to fail as a bait maker um, because you didn't vac, right? It's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. Steve Craig asks, 1 second, guys. Okay, yeah, all right. I see me live on Facebook still. That's good. Just checking. Steve asked, did I ever talk about how I made that brown color you did on those open pore worms? The moccasin blue? No, I have not shared or demonstrated the recipe yet. It's very simple. I've got 2 letters for you. MF. And yes, right on time. RCB Baits, does MF still sell colors? Yes, they do. I got some in the mail 2 weeks ago, straight from their website. So I'm not exactly sure what their status is. There's been a lot of back and forth. Michael at 8-Bit talks to them uh, fairly regularly. Apparently, they're in a much better position than they were about a year ago. Things were real bad, apparently. real bad. Apparently, things are looking up. And so, yeah, you can go on there right now. You can grab the changeable motor oil. You can get dark watermelon. You can get some really cool stuff. They've got like some transparent oranges. So a lot of people right now, excuse me, a lot of people right now really like some of those honey, hot, sweet honey colors from Barlow's. MF's had those for like 30 years. You know, you can get on there and get their transparent yellows and oranges and a color called olive oil. You can blend those together and get all those beautiful shades of honey. It's really fun to do that. In fact, you can take MF transparent orange, add like one drop of Lureworks cherry red, and you've got one of those beautiful honey colors. It's fantastic. But there again, they're dyes. They're really only single use colors. You can't laminate them with anything. You certainly can't layer them in a swim bait. Like you are dead meat if you layer them in a swim bait because they're just going to bleed through and ruin all your layers. So, for example, if there was a layer in here of a dye, right, a transparent color like an MF or let's say Lureworks cherry red or Lureworks purple, they have like a purple dye or the Barlow's honey, it would eventually ruin the bait. Like it would just bleed through everything. So dyes are fun. They look cool. There's nothing else like them. They just don't play nice. That's all. That is their downfall. Dead on colors that got delivered today. Roger Paul. Awesome. 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 Yeah, there's only so much you can do to prevent bubbles. I kind of gave up that fight long ago. Just vac pot is going to just solve that. And then you're not worried about the conditions in your shop. It's, yeah. I don't think it has to be your priority anymore. Now, if vac pots didn't exist, then yeah, we'd have to be worried about it. Well, so speaking to this comment here, I mean, yeah, there's ways to do it. I think the best way is to just let it sit, skim them off the top. Maybe you found a better way, but when it comes to the the type of bubbleless that I need to like do my swim baits that are 85% see through, you hold them up, they're see through. Like there's bubbleless, and then there's like really truly no micro bubbles. Um, and without a vac pot, I just have to let it sit. I have to let it sit to the point to where it literally builds a film across the top, and then you can skim the bubbles off pretty much all at once. But then you got to reheat a little bit. So, um, yeah, vacuum chamber for what I do is an absolute must have. It's as important as the microwave or the hot plate. Without those three things, I make no swim baits. Period. Doesn't matter if I have everything else. If I can't cook it, if I can't heat the mold, and I can't get the micro bubbles out, or even let's say your plastic is brand new, right? Let's say I get a brand new bucket of Dead On Swim Bait Blend or Red Label, right? Red Label is really, really bubbleless. Why don't you stir it a little bit? Why don't you reheat it a little bit? Once it's kind of been exposed, trust me, there's bubbles there, even if you don't see them right away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was right. Yeah. I I was thinking, maybe he's found a magic trick. But no, you just have to let it sit. Yep. You just have to let it sit. Yep. Yeah. Well, so does anyone else have any questions, or do y'all want me to check out anybody's videos in real time, do a reaction? Has anybody posted any baits lately that they want me to show off to the audience right now? Let me know. Okay, Johnny Sweet's really excited about something. What are you so dang happy about? What is it? Wait a minute. You just got off the phone with Kyle, didn't you? Yeah, Brains, if you're worried about bubbles, stay the hell away from salt. It's always going to let you down. Salt literally never makes life better. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Let's see. I used to get my plastisol pretty hot and heat gun the top. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, that can work too. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. We're going to watch one of Johnny Sweet's videos real quick. Because, number one, he's in here. And so we're going to bust his chops a little bit. But he has a sungill color.
Buckle up, Coco.
Fantastic. Take a look. Take a look. I'm going to skip the ad, buddy. Don't kill me. Okay. I want to get
these sides real quick.
Golly, hold
on.
on.
You can see we got.
Why is my? Let me get this in better quality for us. Man, 2160. Yeah, I need to up my camera quality here. Okay.
Got the oranges in now.
Boy, golly, we got orange,
closely,
orange boogers going everywhere. I love it.
Where is it?
Okay, so we got a kill dot. We got a skin of this yellow. We got some orange. Yeah, we got something over that. I know that dotting paint's coming up soon.
You can see how there's that line where it settled.
I see the line.
So what we're gonna do next?
You better heat gun that out. You better heat gun this little line out.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our heat gun.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Heat gun it out. Get rid of that.
Evened out now, so we got nice smooth canvas.
If you leave those lines in there, Johnny, that's what EMT does. Okay.
Here, you're just gonna pinch.
And we don't like that.
And then pull that off, nice and easy.
Salt attracts moisture. Yes, it does.
And then pull it off. You don't want to just pull it because you could pull your capsule right out. So.
Wait, John Anderson, like the country singer?
Pinch, pinch, all the way across.
Blow, blow, Seminole wind. Yeah.
Always got to pinch it.
Well,
first, so
Harold, I'll let Johnny answer this. Yes, this color is very Perch, but a sungill color also is very Perch. So yeah, he put a shad dot on essentially a bluegill color. Let's keep looking here though.
And see how these are all.
I think it'll make sense once you see the one thing.
So you're just
once you see the end result. Dude, Johnny, I do the same thing with my dotting paint. I just from the little lid
that we do.
Because you don't need much.
You could just pour a white belly and call this a perch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he said it. Yeah, he said we could just do a perch.
To turn it into a sungill. So there, those are all done.
Yep. A sungill can be a perch. I've been told the same thing. Be like, yeah, look at my sungill, and someone's like, it looks like a perch, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. You're not wrong.
No. This is when we turn it up to 270.
Okay, so it looks like he's pouring a pearl belly here.
That will be our final temp, and we're gonna reheat that capsule pour we did and just top these off.
Okay, big news
so
coming.
Top them off.
Sweet boys outdoors. I think I know what's happening.
Carry it to the tail.
Oh yeah.
And then slowly work it back and let the head.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Is it perch or is it sungill? Let us know in the comments below. Once Johnny reveals this bait, do you see sungill, right? A really bright, sunny side up bluegill pattern? Or are you like, oh my gosh, that's absolute perch all day?
Of the body.
I don't think there's a wrong answer, right? You know, hey, if somebody likes it, they like it. But yeah, let me know.
Nice and easy.
Interesting here, perch don't have orange bellies, they have orange fins. That's very true, but a lot of times the orange fades into the belly. Yes, there's always white in the belly, but I've seen some perch that had a lot of orange, not just the fins. Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is get it just a hair above the mold.
Yeah.
And that way, after it cools and everything,
I like to use my dotting paint with a messed up sponge. You can see
nice
how
level
messed
top.
up it is. I get a really cool, almost melted looking splotch. It's not as definite of a bar as what Johnny did here. It's just different. That's the only way I can explain it. But yeah, I like to use sponges for that kind of thing too. So you can use a sponge. You can even use like a comb. I think Johnny uses a certain type of paintbrush.
We're gonna turn the heat
He
off.
can tell us in the
Let them
comments.
just sit there on their own.
Yeah, let's look back here.
So those are sitting on.
That's right. It's a hybrid perch gill.
Turn the hot plate off and just let them chill.
That's what I call them. Is a perch gill.
And so when they cool all the way down, we'll be right back and break them up. And
okay, here's the big moment. Oh, if I could reach my drumsticks, I would drum roll for you. I can't reach them though; they're way over there. Maybe next time. Nice hoodie, by the way.
Pretty cool to the touch. They're still kind of warm. See how we did. All
right. Here we go. Here we go. These are G5s, right? Yes, G5s. Okay, I didn't read the title. Show. Just a little bit of color shift in there. Yep.
Very cool.
Those are minty, minty, minty. And he can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say he has a version of this that's overall a little bit more yellow. A little bit more yellow. Man, you can see this one's predominantly orange.
Get them outside.
I feel like I've seen one that was super, super yellow that I just absolutely loved. Okay, got some eyes. Time for the eyes. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. There it is.
I wanted to point something out too. Sometimes.
Can y'all hear him?
You'll see that little bit of flashing on the belly.
It's important.
And I've had people ask if that's bad. That's actually a good thing. That's how you know your temps are right. And just that little bit of flashing there.
If you're not getting hook slot flashing, you're doing it wrong. You're cold pouring, and you're just never gonna get the bond that you do. Or excuse me, the bond that you need. So he is 100%.
And all you gotta do to get rid of that is hold them all upside down, or lay them on their backs like that, and just hit them real quick with the heat gun. And keep that thing moving though, and just hit it real quick with the heat gun like this.
Yes. Okay. All right. So it seems like we're still torn. Is it a perch or a sun gill? Or is it a perch gill? Hey, a perch gill is a real thing in my book, okay? We don't have to put labels on everything.
And that's all it takes, real quick. Hit it real fast like that.
And doing it that way kind of gives the bellies a little bit of an extra shine. Yeah, cleans them up real nice.
Flashing.
Cleans them up. Oh, no, very cool. How's it going?
We're getting there. So now.
Yeah, here we go.
I mean,
look at that. Absolute money. And in the sunlight, you'll notice you're seeing those powders pop a little bit more. I don't know if y'all have seen this over here. This is hilarious. Making lures is tough. What I have learned trying to make, yeah, I agree. Making lures is tough. It's really freaking tough. It just is. Just is. Mm-hmm. Funny. So try to catch up on some chats here. But yeah, just speaking to the dotting paint real quick, if I can. Guess I didn't post. Trying to go to my page here. Here we go. if I can find it. Good Lord, how far back was this? Yeah, okay. So here's sort of another bluegill thing, and all these kind of weird alien scribble splotches of black there. That is dotting paint. So you can just see it's kind of a little more random and sloppy, just a different take on ultimately the same sort of idea, which I first saw done by the great Jeff Peel. Um, is splotching in some hand applied paints, right? Really not doing any airbrushing, but yeah, sort of the same thing going on there. I just like to make mine a little more, what's the word I like? Organically sloppy. Now, that would not work as well for a perch, though. A perch, your barring and your lines need to be a little bit more precise than this. This is sort of just a little bit of, icing on the cake, right? You can see it gets real scribbly down here. A perch would need to be more defined. So it works really well in this example, but if I wanted to switch the blue up for yellow, right, and try to make this a perch, yeah, I'd have to change a few things. I'd have to change the way that I apply the dotting paint. If I was going to use dotting paint for my actual barring there, I could always do it like I do for my header picture here and just do the perch in plastic. And this is like the really, really hard, take all day way to do it. So, yeah. Oh, I would like to do this one again. Just see if I can hit it that well again. It doesn't always happen that good for me. That was a special day. That was a good one. All right, let's catch up on some chats. Oh, Harold Morgan asked a great question here. Oh, if I can get it to. Okay. Is it better to use dotting paint or black plastic for kill dots, shad dots? Pour them in plastic. The reason being is because if you use plastic, you are in control of the saturation. You can pour them kind of see-through, or you can add more black color to your plastic and really make a very thick, jet black, thick black kill dot. So the ability to tailor your saturation, I think, is why you want to use plastic. And you can actually add effect to it, right? So sometimes if I look really close at a shad, the kill dot will have an iridescent look to it, and you can add color shift to it or hyper shift. And pouring it allows you to control the size and shape much better. Well, okay, dotting paint, you can do the same thing, but dotting paint, it's super opaque. It's all or nothing. So definitely learn how to pour them. Walter says, just started messing with tubes before I saw your video. Yeah, I'm not an expert or a master on tubes myself either. Let me go ahead and restart the camera. We're coming up on an hour. Oh, maybe not. All right, we're back. Yeah, you might be talking about these tubes. Yeah, there we are right there live. Where are they at? Yeah, those. They're right there. Mm-hmm. Yep, really cool. And y'all recognize this color? It's grit base. A lot like part of that regurgitated shad. Mm-hmm. So, Josh hit me up today about potentially filming a new mold this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Fingers crossed. But either way, be on the lookout for a new video this weekend. I want to try a fun little old school trick in a worm mold. Well, any worm mold, worm molds that I've actually never done on camera. It would be a first for me, and that's always fun. So I'm hoping to do something like that. Whether it's with the new mold Josh wants to send me or not, I can do it either way. So I'm hoping to be able to film this weekend. Does anyone else have any more questions? If you want to support the channel, please drop us a super chat on the YouTube side of things. That's how we keep our motivation going here. That always helps creators, particularly doing the live thing. I was just talking to a couple of buddies yesterday about the YouTube algorithm, how it's so tough nowadays. It's gotten so corporate. You know, the algorithm pushes channels that invest back. Big YouTube channels that can buy big promotions and advertisements on YouTube and spend money with them get the priority. It's insane. So that's what we're up against as the little guy. You know, I might be big for a soft bake guy, but no, we're just all still little guys in the YouTube scheme of things. We are little fish in a massive pond. Let's see. Yep. Oh man, yeah, I'm wearing out. I was up till 2 a.m. last night. Everybody just could not sleep. Couldn't do it. Yep. Well, does anybody else have any questions? Oh. Okay, we just got questions. Is it better to mica dust a capsule or dust the mold, dust behind the capsule? Always. Always, always. See, Daniel's asking about dents on the AI chunk mold. I have every single chunk mold. They're up there on the shelf. Denting. Are you talking about you'll see a little bit of an imperfection on the bottom flat side? Is that what you're referring to as dents? Yeah, in that case, that is where they are most likely to dent. Yeah, I've shot it a few times, but I'm not exactly sure. Generally speaking, denting is a temperature differential. So you're going to want to preheat the molds, get them really hot, shoot your plastic really cold. So the idea being you want the mold temperature and the plastic going in to be as close to each other as you can. You don't want a room temperature mold and then 370 degree plastic, right? If you preheat your molds to 280 degrees, wait till your plastic is temping at 300 or below and inject super slow. That is generally the surefire way to avoid any and all denting. Now it slows your process down. So now you're preheating, and that would be my best advice there. Yeah, I think somebody had a question about, can I get a triple injection effect with a dual injector? Not really. Not really. I mean, yeah, he's suggesting, right, you could maybe laminate a changeable color or a morph color over another color, and then in theory you have three colors. The problem with that is when you start putting morphs with something else, you lose a lot of the morph. It's all about light refraction, and a very delicate balance of two opposing colors working off of each other that give you the morph. When you start messing with that, you're going to lose a lot of morph. I personally don't think it's going to work that great. Let's see. Tyler has a question. Welcome, Tyler. I don't recognize your name, so if you're a first-time viewer, thanks for being here. Wait, is somebody messaging me? Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I forgot I'm technically logged in as my personal right now, I think. I'm looking to get started in bait making for personal use and possibly some... Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Just there's like personal email or personal stuff in there. We'll just change tabs. We'll go back to Johnny's tab. Let's see. So that was a customer interaction. So I don't want like his address or email to be in there if he doesn't want it to be. So we'll just hop off Facebook. Okay. My question is, should I get molds of a bait that I like to use or get more mainstream? So yeah, we talked about this a lot last week's stream. You got to get a mold that you have a lot of passion for, right? One of my first molds ever was a fluke, because a fluke was my favorite thing to throw. So don't worry about necessarily, forward-facing sonar minnows are huge right now, so let me start with that. Don't start with that if a craw is really where you live, what you love. If you love a frog or a fluke or a worm, go with something that you know what makes it good and that you're going to be excited to make. Let's see. Okay, Kyle's got some information here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so Kyle had to hire some help. Yeah. Yep. Labor after major heart surgery is definitely going to be a tough one. Tough one. Yeah. This was sort of the theme of last week's live stream. Was sort of the argument for or not for should you start a bait company going custom, which I do not agree at all. Do I use any UV powder? So I have the Dead On Glow powders. I don't use it much. In fact, I think Happy Jack has them. I should probably get those back. The Dead On Glow powders, you charge them up with the UV, they glow all sorts of different colors, any color you want. So no, they're not all blue at all. Do I think fish see this stuff? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, again, drop us a super chat if you want to support the channel. Absolutely. We still have a pretty good audience in here, and y'all are being super active in the chat. That helps me a lot. That helps give me content to talk about. And yeah, that way we're not out here. That way y'all aren't watching me going, what color should I make? Should I try this again? You know, like it's when I'm out here just pondering baits, it's probably really boring. For sure. Hmm. But I hope somebody got something of value out of the vacuum chamber discussion at the beginning. That was really the thing I wanted to touch on the most. For sure. Okay. Oh man, I think we're gonna head out, y'all. Like I said, I could not sleep last night. I went to bed on time and just laid there all night long. Finally, by 2 a.m., I remember I finally went to sleep. It was ridiculous. Could not sleep at all. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, I think we're gonna do it. So hopefully, whenever we can get a guest in here, Christina, or whoever wants to be here, yeah, we will probably do a much longer stream, but just me by myself. Yeah, I think an hour and 5 minutes is pretty good. Yes, we need to get Kyle on here. Jeff, if you want to come on here, let's talk. Johnny, if you want to come on here, let's talk. I'm going to really try and get Travis Crossman on here. I mean, like, if I just tell him, like, he has to do it, I think he has to do it. Yeah. Yep, he would do it. So, for sure. Okay, well, anyways, I have enjoyed our time tonight. And let's see, I just got tagged in something on Instagram. One moment. Okay. Brains Baits, thanks, man. Yeah, I'll check out your post here in a minute when I can actually like watch it because it looked like it was a video. So, vacuum chamber lids, get the tempered glass, stay away from acrylic, and all shall be right in the world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Johnny says he's got something to talk about soon, so we will talk about it. Okay. Oh, Johnny, funny story. Jen, who paints for Bullshad, right? Big glide bait brand, Bullshad, had that same idiot, Marco Damien or Damius or Doofus, Marco Dummy, spam one of her posts trying to scam her customers. The same guy, same dummy, Marco Doofus. Good Lord, that guy just won't give up. Now he's hitting up the biggest, glide bait brand maybe that there is, Bullshad. He's trying to poach their stuff. What an absolute dummy. So yeah, Jen was not happy about them, and I'm a big fan of Jen. So yeah, I told Jen, I said, yeah, he's doing it to everybody. Just block him and move on. So the same idiot. But okay, everyone, thanks for being here. Check out our latest video if you have not, messing with some tubes. I'm not a tube guy, so that was really fun to try and do it. And yeah, Brains, we can get you on too, man. I'm all about just talking baits with people. I'll talk to anyone about baits. It's what I like doing. So we're gonna head out, and thanks for being here tonight. Thank you to everyone who tuned in on Facebook. I'm gonna kind of keep playing with the idea of pushing out to multiple platforms. I can actually push it out. So whenever I go live here, I can push out through YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook all at once. I don't know if that's better or worse, but we will definitely check it out. So see you guys in the next video, and hopefully next week on Casting Creations. I'm going to go to bed. See ya.